Winston, what a delight to meet you.
Well, Clint, it's great to meet you as well.
Did you think in 1989 you'd still be having this chat in 2024 about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire?
No, I wasn't sure I'd be here, but I am, and it's great to have the chat.
Yeah, and we're glad you're here. I mean, my favorite part about this is the nostalgia, is going back to that firehouse, is seeing Slime, is seeing the Marshmallow Man without giving too much away. But it really made me go back to that moment when I was sitting in the cinema as a kid. I still have my Ghostbusters 2 fluorescent glow in the dark cup from the movie theater. It's sitting there somewhere in Mum and Dad's house in the cupboard. And that's really what this film is so wonderful. Why I don't know, just hit all the right spots for me. For you, getting to be part of that nostalgia for people like myself, that must feel nice, yeah?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it makes me happy, and I'm so thankful that yeah, that we've hopefully come up with something that people will really embrace and appreciate and find a reason to come together. It's great.
And for the people that haven't seen it, can you sort of bring us up to speed to where Frozen Empire is, how we take this journey with the
Yeah.
Ghostbusters?
Well, I think the first two Ghostbuster movies, for the people who've seen it, well, they know what that was like. The Afterlife, the movie that the last Ghostbuster movie was kind of a reintroduction. The family, Spengler's family, rediscovering who their grandfather was, and all the Ghostbuster toys sort of was kind of a reintroduction, a reminder of where we were. And this is now we're back in New York, back at the heart of the epicenter of the paranormal, and we're once again the world is threatened, and we Ghostbusters have to answer the call. So um, it's a lot of fun, and if someone out there hasn't seen any of the movies, I think they'll find this fun. It's a great adventure and a great sort of coming together of everyone to defeat this threat to humanity.
Well, I think it'd be hard pressed to find anyone who doesn't know or have seen the Ghostbusters. I mean, your character evolves as well, and we find you at a different point in your life. Can you explain a bit more about that?
Yeah, I'm so thankful. I have to give credit to Sony and the filmmakers for just listening to some of my concerns and allowing Winston to spend the last 40 years developing as a human being. He's now very successful. Some people say he got tips from the ghosts, but he's done very well for himself. And he's just really appreciative of the people who gave him a job when he most needed it. And he sort of is in charge of the franchise and the research into what is really going on. So I love the fact that he's a wonderful example of what's possible, and he's spent the last 40 years growing as a human being.
I wonder what it's like on set when you get back together, though. Like, I imagine, like, is there an annual catch up that you guys have since 1989, or is it just on these occasions when you're on set with a camera in your face that you actually hang out? Because I imagine the boys getting together, obviously, with all that's happened in the last decades that have passed. Is that fun, or does it happen regularly?
No, I don't think. Well, I work a lot, so I have great relationships with people I work with. But I've always had family, so I don't normally hang out per se. So when I see people from work, usually it's with work. But in our industry, there are a lot of award shows and different public occasions to come together, and I see people from time to time. But in general. It's not something that happens on a real regular occurrence, but it's always wonderful. It's like old times when we do get back together. And certainly being on this film, seeing Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and Annie Potts, it was just a real pleasure. And meeting the new cast and really getting a chance to work with them was really the highlight of this movie for me.
Well, one of the other last highlights I have to talk about before we wrap up, I mean, is New York City. We're giving away a trip to New York City on this radio station to
Ah,
celebrate the movie, and it really looks fantastic in this movie.
yeah.
As a man who spent a bit of time there and making these movies, what's your number one tip for someone going to New York City, Ernie?
Well, I think the heart of New York is Central Park. So whatever you do, just spend some time just hanging out in the park. It's a great park. But the food is good. Almost anywhere you can walk down the street, and it's a really. I live in Los Angeles area, but I will say I feel safer in New York than I do in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And it has a lot of character, and yeah, it's just a great city. So they'll enjoy. That they'll enjoy.